Just want to share with you guys some analysis that I'm looking at on the index markets. Now there's three index markets that I watch. That's the Dow, the YM, the ES, which is the S&P, and the NQ, which is the NASDAQ. Now these are the mini future contracts listed on the CME for those markets. Now these are basically the same thing as looking at the headline NASDAQ, S&P, Dow that everybody watches, that everybody in the press is looking at, but we're looking at the right contract by trading a tradable contract on the futures market out of Chicago. So let's have a look at the weekly charts followed by the daily charts for each market. Now we've been selling off quite heavily in the markets, as everybody will be all too aware. There's really been no sign of any recovery until now, and I'm seeing a sign of a recovery, and I'm seeing a chance to actually take a position as well. So I've said this before about a potential recovery, but now I'm seeing a chance to actually get in. So I'm looking here at the NASDAQ, and notice that we've made a higher low on the NASDAQ followed by now a higher high. Notice this pattern, because you're going to see a similar pattern when we go and look at the Dow and the S&P, but notice this pattern of coming down, consolidating for quite some time. Remember, this is a weekly chart, so consolidating since really November last year all the way through to now, where we're just starting to break up out of that range. Made higher low followed by higher high, and the NASDAQ there looks bullish. If we just look at that on a daily chart, what you can also see is that we started to get this bullish divergence at that very low point as it came down to near 1000 on the NQ, broke down, consolidated for a long time, and you can just see this uptrend beginning now. Notice that compared to back in October, November, when we had big, huge bars and a lot of volatility, we're just back to nice, consistent moves as well, which means there's more certainty in the markets and more professionals in the market than there was back here when amateurs are panic buying and panic selling. So that looks good. I like the look of that, and I think the NASDAQ might be the leader, i.e. it's already broken up out of that pattern, whereas when we're about to look at the Dow and the ES, you'll see they haven't quite broken yet. Let's have a look at the ES on a weekly. So you notice that too we have been consolidating, but we did make another low. So we've kind of been going sideways after the big move down on the S&P, but we made a new low. As we made a new low there, notice that the RSI made a higher low, that the MACD made a higher low. There's bullish divergence. It's starting to look strong. It's the first sign of a bottom. Now it's still downtrending, but we have got bullish divergence. It's the only time I'd ever take a trade against the trend when we have that. We have it on both indicators. Let's just have a look at the daily chart. And now the S&P, remember I got short back here at 800. This was a really key level. Look how strong that level was. It's a big number. It was with the downtrend. It came up and it did fall off that level. Now to have broken back up through that level and to be holding it is a very, very strong sign that maybe we're going back up again. We're starting to make a nice little series of higher highs and higher lows in here on the daily chart. We do, however, and it's worth noting, have some resistance coming up. So we're just ahead of some resistance around about 870 on the ES, but it's showing signs of a reversal. My trade opportunity is not actually on the ES, even though I like it, even though I like the fact that we've pulled into the averages here, green bar, breaking up through that green bar today. I like the look of it. I think it's got legs to move a good few hundred Dow points, so 20 S&P points here. I think it's got legs to move higher, but the actual best looking trade opportunity comes on the YM. YM, looking at the weekly, same thing, made lower lows, however indicators showing bullish divergence on the RSI and the MACD, making higher lows. Coming down to the daily chart, you can see this bullish divergence having been going for quite some time. We made lower lows, came to 6,500, higher lows on indicators, and look at this now. I love this little pattern. Look at how it's come up and it's tested. If I just draw a line on exactly where it's been testing, I can draw a flat level in there. But it's come up and it's tested around this 80-50 level. Come up, tested, come up, tested. Also notice how it's got through this key level. So 77, 80, up here, these old lows. Look at how when it finally broke through it, look at how that level is acting as support now. We've got really nice small bars and we've got a flat level. And we've got indicators pushing on up as the price is flat. The bars are small. The setup is great. I'm looking to get long on this if it can break back up through the high of this move. Now I just check out of all of these bars which is the highest point to find my entry. So the high on that day was 80.35. That day was 80.60. So at the moment it's 80.60. That is 80.37. 80.63. Okay, so that's the highest move. Okay, so the highest move there's 80.63. I'm going to put an order in at 80.64. So order to get long at 80.64. If you want to get your line at the exact right place, you just go here and you type in 80.64. That's the exact level where we want to get in. It's now highlighted 80.64. My stop at this stage is going to be the low of today. The low of today is 7.909 in fact, so just below that. I'm going to put my stop at 7.893 just to get below that big number. So this one here, we'll put that line at 7.893. So that's entry and stop. Putting an order in now to get long the Dow if it breaks up through there. I am aware, just like on the ES, that there's resistance here, and I have got plenty of room to get to my first target before we get up around this level. But my targets will be 1 to 1, 2 to 1, and then I'm not going to scale anymore. After that, I'm going to use the trailing stop, because if the market recovers from here, there could be a lot more legs in it. But I'm going to take some profit at 1 to 1 and 2 to 1, and then I'm going to leave the rest running if it continues. So I think this looks really strong, really good protection for the stop from these old lows in here. Really nice small bars, good flat level, good convergence on the indicators, good bearish divergence on all weekly charts, and the Nasdaq having already broken up through these highs. So if the Nasdaq is leading the market, the Dow should get up through here, through 8,900, so through 9,000. If the Dow can get up through 9,000, we're looking very good, and I think that's what it could do. There's my trade idea. Orders are on. Let's see how it works out.